Hi, welcome to Punchline Talks. My name is Mark Owen, and today we're talking apprenticeships with Julia Russell, Senior Careers Advisor for Renishaw. Hi, Julia.
Hello, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you very much. Very excited to talk to you because Renishaw are the biggest private employer here in the county, and I know that you do a fantastic job with apprenticeships. Could you tell us, please, about the company and about what you do?
Yeah, so we're an engineering and manufacturing company. We have our headquarters in Wootton-under-Edge in Gloucestershire. We're a global provider of manufacturing technologies, analytical instruments, and also healthcare. And really, we are responsible for enabling other companies to produce their own manufacturing. So we provide solutions as well. And we're involved in the sort of mechanical side of things, electronics, and the software. So we're quite unique in that we cover all different areas of engineering and then are supported by sales functions, commercial functions such as HR, and a whole sort of remit, really. We're a FTSE 250 company. We've got a global workforce of about 4,500 and something like 81 sites in 37 countries.
Wow, wow! I didn't realize it was it was that big. And of course, you do a lot of you have a lot of apprentices each year, don't you? How many do you normally have, and what kind of jobs are available?
So at the moment, we have 250 employees in the UK who are on an apprenticeship of some kind. And some of those will be upskilling as part of their job roles. And we probably have 60 of those, so quite a few. And the rest will come to us. They'll join as new recruits. They'll go straight onto our apprenticeship programs. The last count, we had close to 30 different schemes. And we range from levels 2 to 7. And as well as engineering, which is obviously where we've got most of our apprenticeships, we have apprenticeships in sort of digital sectors, so that's sort of software engineering, software testing, but also we're reaching out to our maintenance and construction areas and our commercial functions as well. So we're bringing in people who move around the business, get experience of working in different areas and with different teams, and then transferring off into a role within the business.
And I would imagine you also have marketing, admin, right across the different services within the actual business itself.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of some of our schemes. So our commercial apprentices, for example, will experience all of those different commercial areas. They'll go into sales, they'll go into purchasing, they'll understand about admin. They do a business administration apprenticeship. And with some of our schemes, they're quite bespoke. So we have electricians and plumbers, for example. But then we have more broad schemes where people will move around different areas of the business. They'll find what they're good at. They'll get a good understanding of the different areas and how they overlap, which is really important. And then they can set their sights on, right, this is what I want to do, this is where I want to go when I actually transfer off the scheme.
So what type of qualifications are you looking for right across the board? I know it's difficult because you have so many different jobs available.
So really, it's important to say there's no upper age limit for apprentices anymore. So, any age people can apply. We are slightly restricted by some of the apprenticeships. So, for example, a level 6 degree apprenticeship, our apprentices will go to university, they'll study a degree. It will be the same degree that you would do if you went to university. And so you will have to have certain A-level results or the equivalents of A-levels. For other schemes, we're looking just for GCSEs. So it really depends on what level scheme you're going into as to what qualifications you actually need to be able to apply.
And what type of level GCSEs do you need?
So GCSEs really range, and again, it can be anything from a sort of 4 up to a 5. Sometimes we need sort of 6s as well. The key thing is that if people don't have a level 4 or 5 in maths and English, they will have to do something called functional skills as part of their apprenticeships. Otherwise, that's the sort of the grounding that we need for a GCSE level.
And what's the beauty of doing an apprenticeship rather than going to do university?
So, I mean, I didn't do an apprenticeship, and I wish that I had known about them when I was making my choices. The obvious ones that everyone knows about are that you earn while you learn. You don't accrue any student debts. And that's important. But what's more important is that an apprenticeship gives you the opportunity to be able to pursue a career that you're passionate about. University is great if that's what you want to do and if that's what you're good at. But if actually you don't want to go to university and you want to have an education that is more than just theory and academia, it's practical hands-on knowledge, it's learning professional skills. That's the beauty of an apprenticeship. It makes you that well-rounded employee, which businesses are looking for.
Now, if I was a young person, some of them are, not being funny, quite not scared, but wary of working with older people. What do you guys do to sort of help them out there?
So what I would say about the people in Renishaw who work with apprentices is that we're all very passionate here about our apprenticeship programme. And we try and buddy apprentices up with people who aren't that much older than them, so that they can, they've got their sort of peers. And, sometimes hearing things from someone your own age is a bit better. It's easier to understand and better receive than someone talking at you. But for those people who are experienced in the business, they love to share their knowledge. They love to be involved in seeing someone else's career develop. And I think people take a real sense of pride in that. I know certainly in my team, where we've seen apprentices come in and then years later, they're managing other apprentices or graduates. And that's incredibly pleasing and satisfying. And it's something that we're very proud of in our apprentice community.
Well, I've got to ask you the $60 million question or the $60 million pound question. What's the sort of salaries, or what does it start off? I would imagine, again, it's so broad, but can you give us a figure?
Yeah, so we have frameworks that are based on the level of the apprenticeship or the format that it's delivered in. So it's not one starting salary for everybody who joins, but the minimum that people will come in on is £16,000, and that goes up to 18,300. So we try and reflect national living wages. We did a huge exercise last year to improve our salaries for apprentices, and we do benchmarking to make sure that the salaries they transfer off on are in line with the roles that they're going into.
Is there a minimum age as well? Can you come in at 16, do your GCSEs and start at 16?
So yes, minimum age is 16. We couldn't let anybody in earlier than that. Obviously, they need to complete their GCSEs. So no minimum age, minimum age of 16, but no upper age. So there's no maximum age anymore. And we do have some people in our apprentice scheme who are in their 30s and 40s, and we're starting to see a trend towards that now as well.
And what's the one thing you could say if you had a classroom of young guys there? What would you say to them about taking an apprenticeship with Renishaw?
I would say consider it as an opportunity and think about how it is that you want to learn and what you ultimately want to get to, because that's going to be the key factor, I think. And also, pursue what you want to do. We're trying to break down some barriers of parents understanding and schools understanding the value of apprenticeships. But I think it's proven that apprenticeships are important to industry, and it will get people to where they want to go in their careers quicker, perhaps, than an alternative route.
Julie Russell, thanks ever so much for joining me today. Really fascinating to talk to you, and all the very best for the future.
Thank you.